This video is brought to you by JumpShotTrainer.com. Improve your accuracy and perfect your jumper by limiting resistance from your offhand. Learn more by visiting the link in the description box below. Jabari Parker, the newest member of the Chicago Bulls, might have just become one of Bulls fans' favorite players, if he wasn't already, considering that he is a native of Chicago. Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and Jabari Parker was officially introduced by the Chicago Bulls late yesterday. And during his first ever press conference with the Chicago Bulls, he said a couple of really interesting things. And the first one we got to talk about is Jabari Parker absolutely ripping a reporter for implying that Derrick Rose has reached a low point in his career. As Jabari Parker went on to say that Derrick Rose has never had a single low point in his career and that he will always be considered an NBA legend.
It's John Greenberg from The Athletic again. I know you had your own career and stuff to worry about, but as a Bulls fan, what did you think of kind of the rise and fall, like what happened with Derrick and seeing how high he went and then kind of how low things got? How did you look at it from afar?
I mean, Derrick had no lows. He didn't, because he still maintained. And, you know, Derrick is a legend, no matter what. Like, I don't like how you explain that.
I meant like just how the injuries and stuff.
No rise and falls. Injuries is a part of life. Everybody has an injury. You know, it's either athletics or normal life. But Derrick is, you know, he's one of the best players to ever play the game and one of the best icons in Chicago. So he accomplished his duty already.
One thing that you never want to do is even throw the slightest bit of shade towards Derrick Rose while you're in Chicago. That's one of the biggest rules of life. And Jabari Parker, of course, knows better than anyone, or most people at least, that injuries are just a part of life. And most times they are completely out of your control. So when a guy like Derrick Rose goes through so many injuries, and despite that, each time comes right back to the game longing to get back to where he was, or to prove that he can still do this, that he can still play, you have to have nothing but respect for that guy. That's why he's one of the most respected players in the league, since he has to have a real passion, a real love for the game to go through everything he's gone through and still want to come back. Most players, if they went through even a fraction of what Derrick Rose has experienced in his career, they would have called it quits a very long time ago. So that was the first thing that Jabari Parker had to say yesterday, which I'm sure most people will agree with. Unlike the next thing that Jabari Parker said yesterday, which is one of the most controversial things that I have heard in quite some time, as he said that NBA players don't get paid to play defense. As when he was asked if he would consider defense a weakness of his, this was his response: "I just stick to my strengths. Look at everybody in the league. They don't pay players to play defense. There's only 2 people historically that play defense. I'm not going to say I won't, but to say that's a weakness is like saying that's everybody's weakness, because I've scored 30 and 20 on a lot of guys that say they play defense. If you know the game, you also know that everyone's a pro, right? And that certain guys have an average. No matter what you do, they still get that average. They pay people to score the ball. And I would hope that somebody scores the ball on me if they pay them that much. So I'm not going to cop out or nothing. It's the NBA. We're professionals. Everybody scores. It's just about limiting them as much as you can and trying to contain them. A better offense wins a championship." He says there's only been 2 players in the entire history of the NBA that have played defense. Now, that speaks for itself. That's one of the most ridiculous things that I have ever heard. And then saying that the better offense is what wins championship, that goes directly against the saying that's been well known in basketball since ever, and really in sports since forever, and that is defense wins championships. And then also saying that he's dropped 20 or 30 points on guys that claim they play defense. Now, just because someone plays defense doesn't mean that they're not going to get 20 or 30 points dropped on them. That's just not realistic to expect a defender to be able to hold every guy he defends to less than 20 or 30 points, and if he doesn't, then he's not a good defender. That's just not how it works. And the final point I want to make is when he was talking about guys reaching their averages. Player averages around 20 to 30 points in the NBA, that no matter what you do, they're most likely going to get 20 or 30 points. And he's right. Most nights players are going to reach their averages, and there's really not much you can do to stop them from reaching those averages. averages. But a good defender won't let that player get 20 to 30 points as easily as a bad defender will let that player get those 20 to 30 points. A good defender would cause that player to have a less efficient 20 to 30 points. There's a huge difference between scoring, let's say, 25 points on 10 of 14 shooting as opposed to scoring 25 points on 10 of 21 shooting, or even worse. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with Jabari Parker's whole stance on defense. But let me know what you guys think about everything that Jabari Parker had to say in his first ever press conference since signing his 2-year $40 million deal with Chicago Bulls. And if you guys enjoyed the video and haven't already, be sure to sub to the channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. Also, this is going to be a little bit of an update to the channel, but I know these videos have been pretty short as of late, but trust me, it's all part of the plan, because one of the problems I had with the previous style of videos I was doing was timing. It was hard to get those videos up in time while the news was still relevant. I try and cover things that happened in the previous day when it's been 24 hours and the news has already been circulating. I want to get the news out in a timely manner within a couple of hours even after stuff comes out, so you guys can stay up to date and not feel like you're a day behind at all times like you were in the past. So I figured the best way for me to do this is like this, where I make maybe even multiple videos a day depending on how busy of a news day it is, so I can keep you guys up to date with everything as soon as it happens. And not only that, but of course I'm still working on bringing other things to the channel as well. You guys remember that Andrew Wiggins video I did maybe a week ago now? The different story type feel videos, the more creative type, I don't know even say creative, just the other types of videos that I want to bring to the channel. Yeah, those are still coming. I am working on one as we speak, and it should be done around Saturday. So what I was thinking was I will do a video like that once every week and maybe release it on Saturday. And not only that, but I'm also working on bringing something else to the channel that will be extremely exciting, and I seriously can't stop thinking about. You guys will most likely know what I'm talking about within a week, if not a week and a half, 2 weeks max, and I just can't wait to get this started. Like I am hyped, and this is just phase 1 of what I'm calling the takeover in my quest to become bigger and better than ESPN. But anyways, that's gonna do it. Just wanted to use this time to update you, but thank you once again for watching. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs. And until next time, I am out of here. Peace!